Hello everyone, welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday the 7th of November to Friday the 11th of November 2022. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. Alright then, let's start with the Nifty analysis. Let's start with the monthly chart. And what do we see on the monthly chart? So we are inching closer towards the highs again, and as I mentioned in the past session as well, generally whenever the market comes very close, we are facing a lot of rejection. This has happened more than 5 or 6 times already. Now this is more or less the 7th time we are coming there again. The most important thing that needs to conclude from this is the closing of the candle. So even if we have a candle moving up and then moving down, but if the close of the candle is below this 18,100, that would still imply the markets are not having any direction and might tend to consolidate before making the move up or the move down. So right now on the existing candle, since it's the 5th of November today, this candle is an ongoing candle. This is a monthly chart. So every candle is a monthly candle. It's very important for this candle to close above all these highs. That will probably dictate the next side of where the Nifty wants to go, at least on the monthly chart. Let's move on to the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we are inching once again inside this area of supply. We have come there multiple number of times. Now it's a matter of time when this supply zone will break, but till and until it breaks, there is still some selling pressure that is likely to come. And the assumption is that there is a level which is not seen on the chart, which is very close to this 18,341 level. Maybe I'll try to bring it up on the daily chart. That is an area to watch out for on the Nifty in case if the market keeps on moving up, it's likely to possibly stall at that 18,341 odd level. Let's move on to the daily chart. And if you look at the daily chart, the level that I'm talking about is pretty much located in this range here. So 18,341 is the level. If you want to just make it a little bit more precise, it's around 355 to 18,449. So this is a supply level which is more or less on a 75-minute chart. Markets have still not reached there yet, but there is a very big possibility that if the markets continue to move up, then more or less they might create a little bit of a bullish momentum, inviting all the retail traders and the investors to move and to start buying, and then possibly we might start seeing a turn, right? So this is going to be a little bit of a crucial area. I'm just getting a feeling probably this week we might just try and trade above these highs with the intention of eventually breaking out to the upside. But we need to be a little careful because a lot of retail traders, they tend to trade on the breakout and then they probably get trapped into this area. So this is a little bit of an area to watch out for next week. The level is 18,355 to 18,449. So we need to be a little careful on going or initiating any longs if the price does get to those levels. Let's look at the options data and what is the volatility data telling us on the options front. So if you look at the volatility data on the options front, I'm just going to move my chart a little bit to the... We are seeing that volatility premiums have comparatively dipped down. So premiums are very cheap right now. And if premiums are cheap, the credit traders are not going to find optimal opportunities unless and until they are doing something on an intraday basis. So right now, if you're a positional trader, avoid any kind of credit strategies and focus on debit strategies. You could plan directional debit strategies, or you could plan non-directional debit strategies. But the focus should definitely be on debit and not on credit, because the premiums are indicating that at this given point in time, the premiums on the Nifty are cheap. All right, let's move on to an intraday chart. And yeah, there are these new levels which are created on the Nifty. If we go with an intraday specific, and in case if on Monday, as the SGX Nifty is suggesting we do open a gap up, This is going to be a little bit of a crucial area for the Nifty, which is close to around the 18,000 handle. और हमने देखा है कि लास्ट टाइम जब प्राइस 18,000 के आसपास आता है, थोड़ा सा प्राइस डिप होके वापस ऊपर चला जाता है. तो अगर मार्केट यहाँ से एक नया हाई बनाता है एंड इट इज़ एबल टू ब्रीच let's say this area which is 18,180 on Monday and sustains to trade above that, then we might see a little bit more of an upside momentum till the price comes to that 350 18,350 odd level. So this is something to watch out for. और अगर प्राइस यहाँ पे डिप होता है तो यहाँ पे एक अच्छी एक बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी अभी भी निफ्टी पे बन सकती है. Alright, let's move on to the bank nifty chart now and let's see what the bank nifty chart is telling us. So on the bank nifty chart, as we have seen, we are again coming closer to the all-time highs. Again, very close, just like the nifty, right? But again, as I said, the crucial part is for this candle to close above. So this is going to be very important. अभी तक ये नहीं हुआ है, so we cannot jump to any conclusions. हमें थोड़ा सा रुकना पड़ेगा. हो सकता है कि मार्केट ऊपर जाने से पहले थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे कंसोलिडेट करे, and maybe we might see prices possibly dipping down again towards this 39,400 level before taking off and making a new high. So this is something to watch out for. Let's move on to the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we are again deep into this area. The weekly demand zone held very well, and we got a very nice bounce out of that weekly demand zone. Although we were expecting the markets to go a little bit below, but this demand zone held well. And right now the markets have just been consolidating since the past 2 weeks. हो सकता है और एक consolidation week चला जाए before the market decides to either turn down or then possibly turn and move to the upside. So what can be expected is that we might expect to see maybe another consolidation and markets moving this way eventually before the markets do this and move up, or before the markets again turn down and move into a wider consolidation range, right? So possibility of a couple of scenarios. Let's move on to the daily chart. Let's remove all the drawings here. और अगर हम डेली चार्ट देखेंगे तो बैंक निफ्टी की वॉलेटिलिटी भी सब्सटैंशियली नीचे गिरी है. तो ऑप्शन के प्रीमियम जो है वो बहुत ही सस्ते हैं. एंड राइट नाउ अगर आपको ऑप्शंस को अगर ट्रेड करना है, देन बेटर विल बी टू इम्प्लीमेंट एनी काइंड ऑफ डेबिट स्ट्रेटजीज और डू सम काइंड ऑफ डेबिट स्प्रेड्स, राइट? ईदर टू द डायरेक्शनल दैट यू wish the market to go. You can either be long bias or you can be short bias. Ideally, when markets are coming very close to all-time highs, it's always very tricky to take long trades. But if we see some signs of new supply zones being created, then a good strategy will be to get into some kind of a bearish trade and probably plan that bearish trade to the downside. अगर आपका व्यू नॉन डायरेक्शनल है और अगर आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि मार्केट नॉन डायरेक्शनली मूव होगा, then you can also plan a non-directional debit strategy in Bank Nifty as well. Let's move on. Let's move on to the USDINR now और देखते हैं कि USDINR हमें क्या बता रहा है. And let's look at the USDINR chart. So USDINR has been substantially moving up. There is a clear level of demand which is created on the USDINR. In the days to come, this 80 handle on the USDINR is going to be very crucial. अगर मार्केट यहाँ से रिट्रेस करता है तो हमारा जो कोरिलेशन है USDINR वर्सेस निफ्टी का, हो सकता है कि अगर मार्केट यहाँ से करेक्ट करके नीचे आता है, देन हो सकता है कि निफ्टी, बैंक निफ्टी, सेंसेक्स, ये सब मार्केट कहाँ जा सकते हैं, ऊपर की तरफ. सो वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट द मार्केट्स टू मूव इन द एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन ऑफ द USDINR, but only time will tell that, because हो सकता है कि यहाँ पे consolidation हो जाए and then market might even move further up, pushing our indices down. So we can't conclude anything unless and until it happens yet. All right, let's move on to the weekly chart. And let's see what the weekly chart is telling us. So the weekly chart is again consolidating here. यहाँ पे एक demand zone है. That is more evident on the daily chart. So I'll quickly go to the daily chart. This is that level of demand. Very just barely tested before taking off. हो सकता है कि next time जब ये इस zone को visit करे, थोड़ा सा और deep इस zone में चला जाए. And what we can expect is if the price does that, then we might again expect to see a bounce unless and until this level breaks. तो अनुमान ये है कि शायद निफ्टी और जो USDINR है और बैंक निफ्टी है वो ज़्यादा करके इस एरिया में कंसोलिडेट कर सकते हैं काफ़ी वीक्स के लिए बिफोर दे इवेंचुअली मूव अप और दे मूव डाउन. Alright. The sector for this week is the Nifty IT sector. So let's talk a little bit about this sector. Let's look at the monthly chart of Nifty IT. और जैसे हम देख रहे हैं चार्ट के बेसिस पे निफ्टी आईटी जो है वो अभी करंटली एक मंथली डिमांड जोन में ट्रेड कर रहा है. वी आर सीइंग रेलेवेंट कंसोलिडेशन टेकिंग प्लेस हियर. हम इसको अक्यूमुलेशन कह सकते हैं. वंस दिस मार्केट टेक्स ऑफ फ्रॉम हियर, दिस demand zone will be more or less giving us a fair idea that this has given us a good bounce. Taking that into consideration, and the IT stocks are also possibly going to give us a bounce in the days to come. May not immediately give it, but the chances are that they might also start moving up. So our stock for the week is Tech Mahindra, and the key level on Tech Mahindra, I'm just going to show that to you quickly. It's on a 15-minute chart, and definitely what we are planning is we are looking at more or less this trade setup with an intraday perspective. So if you are an intraday trader, this setup might interest you. All right, so this is the level that I'm looking at from here. This is your demand on Tech Mahindra. And the level starts at 1030 to 1023. This is going to be a level of demand. So if you are an intraday trader and you want to get into this opportunity, आप थोड़े से आपकी जो एंट्री है वो इस जोन के ऊपर ले सकते हैं. स्टॉप जो है वो आपका थोड़ा सा नीचे जाना चाहिए, इस जोन के नीचे. अगर आप यहाँ पे रखते हैं स्टॉप को तो थोड़ा सा जोन है जो थोड़ा सा टाइट हो जाएगा. बट सिंस देयर इज ऑल्सो अनदर लेवल, I would just be a little liberal to place the stop loss over here, and definitely targets can be decent enough. You can look for it anywhere between a 2:1 or a 1.5:1, or we might even target this gap over here. So this is the trade setup for the week for Tech Mahindra. I hope you enjoyed this week's analysis. If you have any queries or any questions or any feedback, just feel free to post that in the comment section, and do not forget to hit the like button, and do subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you very much everyone, and hope you have a wonderful week of trading. Bye bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.